Welcome to Pinball Mayhem. This is Ed. Just another quick update on the Berzerk Frenzy cabinets. Probably have more than an hour work on this. Didn't get much sanding done on the filler from my last video. It's just still on the left cabinet. Now that's the one that was originally Frenzy that's going to become Russian Attack, and the right one was the one that was black. So they swapped spots at one point during this production. So this cabinet on the right, which is the more solid one, has been just slowly filling and sanding. I'm kind of focusing on this one more for the filling, just because it's in better shape. It's going to take less, and the bottom needs to be sanded a little bit better. But I'm going to actually flip them over on their backs and put some boards underneath them so I can work on the sides and the bottom all at the same time for both of them. I'm still doing a little bit of clamping on this left one. It's just finding any flaking paint. This right one is pretty much, actually no, it's not done. I'm lying. I found something today. That's the problem, is you got to decide how far you're going to take it. Most of this is sanded down here pretty good. I have to put another skim coat on the top. It's really getting close. So I'm just filling some of the spots in the back here, and I'm really thinking I might be ready to get primer maybe tomorrow to put it on. Now the right game, still doing some clamping. This is mostly not for the cabinet structure. It's just to get this flaking of the edge from just being moved poorly. So, and of course, if I got a little Bondo left over from the left game, I am putting it on this one just to kind of start filling and sanding. I haven't been doing much sanding on here just because my sandpaper gets gummed up. It's good for about one, one cabinet. I also got the doors. The front doors and then the rear doors. So that's the slide out drawer that needs a little bit of over here. That needs the sanding just around the opening with like a Dremel, something round. That's the rear door for the Frenzy cabinet, and the rear door for this one is all fitted already. So that's just a lot of little bitty work. I'm hoping by the end of the day tomorrow I have both the games pretty much ready for paint, maybe throwing some primer down. So it's really coming along. I'd like to get these things in primer this week and start putting down the final coat, which is just time consuming. So one thing I want to point out, so I can't really show this in video because once you mix Bondo you gotta rush. I'm using Bondo body filler, and what I do, I actually cut a paddle in half. You keep it clean, and you don't try to clean it when you're done. Just let it dry and cure. That's kind of your test, and you flake it off your scraper. And you get those cheap. I mean, this is one from my last project. I tried to use it at first. That's where you saw all those stupid lines. So you can see the line like here. That's because this is just dirty. So buy new ones. They're cheap. Don't buy expensive, super expensive one. This is half of one of those because I needed a smaller one, and I just cut the corners curved. So yeah, let it dry on there, flake it off. So use the body filler and the hardener, try to make a nice pinky color. This is kind of your test. You leave it sit, and when you come back you can check on the board what is bad or good. So what I do is like a spot of body filler this big, and I just put a dime to a nickel's worth of fiberglass resin. But that means when you're pouring it on, pour it slowly. No additional hardener for the fiberglass, but just that, and then the hardener that comes with the body filler. What this does is it helps it spread, smooths it out a little bit, helps it go into crevices, and it really makes it actually perform like more expensive body filler. I know there's wood fillers, which I'm probably going to use it once I prime and I find some spots. So my plan is to prime. I'm going to then 220 on the orbital, the whole thing quickly, make sure I'm going to roll around the prime and see if I find any spots. I'm going to hit them with some body filler, dab a primer, and that's going to be my plan to prepare the cabinets for paint. But then I'm going to use some wood filler body, nail holes and stuff. But this is what I'm using for the large chunks. It seems to work well in the past. The only problem is when you repair a bottom, like here, I've seen people fill this in, and that's why I have to put the wood in there so that when this hits, it's not going to crack big chunks out. So if you've ever seen body work like on a control panel, here where someone will the whole corner when it's on the particle board will chip right out, and you see someone fills it up and builds up with body filler. That's going to work great as long as you're careful with it, but a good hit, I've seen those pop off. And that's where I would start by grafting in wood first and then fill the sides. So here I'm just filling in the gap here to make it shore up and look good. But stay tuned. Hopefully these things are going to look a lot different when they start getting primer on them, and then they can start going back together. But there's more work. Thank you for watching. Make sure to stay tuned for the rest of the videos.